Hi, Deacon John Wilson here, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church. Uh, Listen, just want to talk to parents as you're making that final decision. I want to clear up some things about the Pell Grant, which is a federal grant. It reminds me of something I need to tell you. The other day reminded me when I thought about the Pell Grant, which this year I believe is heading for a maximum of 9,000, or actually $8,000. Um, First of all, the grant is just a drop it in bucket to the total cost of these 90 and $100,000 private colleges. Hey, look, I have a video coming up about expensive private colleges I want you to hear before you make that decision on where your student's going to college. But the Pell Grant is a drop in the bucket, and a lot of you feel that your son or daughter is going to get some federal aid. Now, here's the danger of that. If you think they're getting federal aid and you're making 70, 80, $90,000 or more, then you're going to think that the current administration kind of screwed over your son or daughter if they don't get that money, or if they're very short for college. But it's not because of who's in the White House. That's not why that's happening. I've always kind of seen that. It's because people assume that financial aid is based on how tight their budgets are. It's not based on that, you know? It's way more based on what you earned in 2023 in this case, and how much, and a lesser degree, how much savings and assets and interest income you have. Less on that, and also your property values other than your current property that you live in, like if you have a lot of rental property. It's based less on that, but it's still based on it. It's mostly based on your payroll income. So as you begin to move away from, regardless of family size, 60,000 a year, and most people I deal with are making 90, 100, 120, 150,000 a year, which in Southern California is nothing. There isn't going to be any Pell Grant. And if you, like so many Americans, are really tight every month with your money, and that's something that we see a lot right now, especially given what's happened with inflation the last 2 or 3 years. You're going to think you should get financial aid, but less than ever before. Private schools don't see it that way. It's based on what you make. So the Pell Grant discussion needs to be understood in those terms by nearly everyone who's hearing this. You're probably not going to get a Pell Grant. Most people don't. Now I want to talk to those who are getting Pell Grants. If you're getting a Pell Grant, it means that your income is reduced, certainly below $50,000. You may not have the maximum Pell, but some may even have that. But this year, you're going to find out that private school still is going to cost you 30 to 50,000 a year in some cases. Now, I don't want to call out schools in this video, but that's what's going to happen with private colleges. Listen to me. This is a great year to think about doing a selective CSU or maybe even a UC if you're a Pell Grant parent. Why should you go into debt when you can get it almost for free? And there's many other schools that we've talked about here that are great buys for you. Get in touch with me. It's just not necessary for a family making 40 or $50,000 to take out loans every year of 30, 40,000. What's going to really change in 3 years? You're going to owe 120,000, 150,000, and you didn't have the income. I mean, look, the same families would have gotten free coverage before the pandemic. Look, the cost of colleges, private colleges especially, has soared over the pandemic. These schools, it seemed like they lost a lot of money. And I'm seeing more collusion between private institutions, that these awards are beginning to look the same. Come on, parents, strike a blow for yourself. Save your retirement. What do you say? And pick an affordable school this year. Don't think the Pell Grant is going to bail you out of that. It's not. And don't get too revved up to blame it on the government especially with all these headlines scaring the devil out of my parents. Oh, I can't stand that. To begin to blame it on, the Department of Education is being destroyed. That's why they didn't get any money. As I said in my last video, that's not true. So parents really think about affordability and understand the federal government, the most they're going to do is that $8,000, $9,000 Pell, and your income's got to be down around 30, 40,000. Sure, there'll be student loans there, and you hope for the institution to provide some grants. But if you're in California, you'll have university grants and the Cal Grant that will make the school essentially free in the case of CSU and nearly free in the case of UC. God bless you. Thank you very much. Remember to like and subscribe, to keep like and subscribe to get our videos and improve our reach as a ministry. We're reaching people across the country because you're clicking those buttons. Also, leave me a comment, would you? Leave us a comment. Let us know you liked or you didn't like what we presented today. God bless you. Bye-bye now.